Hi everyone, I hope you're well. Have you set up your Google Analytics? If not, don't worry. Go and read, go and watch the video from last week where I kind of took you step by step so how to kind of simply set up your Google Analytics. Super easy. No need to worry about it. I talked you through the difference between setting up a GA4 and a universal account. So if you haven't already watched it, go and get yourself set up by following last week's video. Today, we're going to talk about how to read Google Analytics and actually understand what it's talking to you, telling you about. All right. So, look, as I say, I'm really hoping that you're sitting here, feeling really smug and pleased with yourself that you got through the kind of what might have seemed like some kind of techie overload or techie overwhelm, and actually realize that getting Google Analytics set up is really super simple. And yeah, that's great. You log into your Google Analytics account, now you've got it all set up. You can look at it and go, oh my god, what is this? What is this kind of nonsense? What are these kind of lines and graphs and figures? What are they telling me? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to teach you how to read Google Analytics and understand, really basically understand what Google Analytics is telling you. So I'm going to show you, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through the different types of Google reports, and then I'm going to show you the three core things that you would find helpful to use to be tracking using Google Analytics. So let's jump in. So which Google Analytics are most helpful and why? I thought that that might be a really helpful thing for you to understand. So basically, the Google Analytics reports snapshot. You'll see all this down the left-hand side of your screen. I think that's the best. That's the really helpful report. It's like a summary of Google Analytics. It gives you a summary of your traffic to your website, your users, the activity, and what they're doing when they visit your site. It's really helpful. And if you look at nothing else, I just go and have a look at that snapshot report. Now, what Google Analytics, so this is all, I'm talking about GA4 here. I'm not talking about Universal Analytics. It's very set up very differently. The reports are very different. So what's Google Analytics 4 has done, GA4 have done, basically they've given you reports to look at each section of basically the life cycle of your customers, or imagine the funnel. So you've got your acquisition reports, and then it kind of goes from there kind of right through to retention. So I'm going to talk you through that. But basically, Google Analytics can help you see which part of your funnel is working best. So let's start with the life cycle reports, so acquisition reports. So I think the best report here is the traffic acquisition report, and what that does is it shows you how your users got there. What's kind of the link between the search engines and your website. How did they get there? So what you'll see though is an overview of where people came from. So what you might see, and I wanted you to be aware of this, is you might see something called direct. So direct or /non as a traffic source. Now, it's not particularly helpful, but what it means is Google Analytics couldn't find like an entrance source, a specific entrance source to your website. So it might be because somebody typed your URL directly into the website. So somebody might have gone, www.sbcansmith.com, and that would be a direct visit, or they bookmarked a page and came through that way, or they clicked in a mobile app, or they came from like a PDF. There was a link to maybe a blog or something in a PDF. They came that way, or I don't know, some link shorteners too. They like Bitly and that kind of stuff. Those people coming to your website from those kind of things will show up as non. It's a bit frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about it. People are still visiting your website, but you'll get that direct or non. So that's your acquisition report. Go and check that out. It's really interesting. Engagement reports. So yeah, in GA4, you're not going to see the bounce rate metric which we used to be able to see in Universal Analytics. Instead, you'll see engagement rate, and it's a much more helpful metric than bounce rate, because it basically shows you how your visitors engage with your website, just rather than the bounce rate, which just shows you how quickly they leave. So an engaged session is when people stay on your website for more than 10 seconds and they make 2 or more screen views and they fire a conversion rate. So you'll have to set these up, but things that could be like making a purchase, subscribing to your newsletter, doing that kind of stuff. But they're basically, like entering your checkout. So they are kind of conversion events that you can set up. So engagement rate's really helpful to see if any of the stuff that you've created for your website is actually working in terms of moving the visitors to your website into engaged users. Then, of course, we've got our monetization report. So you've got your leads, you can look at your traffic, then you can see whether you're engaging those people, and then you can see if you're turning them into customers. So can you see how this kind of life cycle or funnel reports are working here? So this is where you can see things like but basically, what parts of your funnel are working. So you can see sales from your websites and subscription programs in this report. So go and check it out. Who's buying your stuff? Okay, so as I said, I wanted to talk to you about the most helpful things to track. And these are the 3 things I track. I think they're so helpful, really interesting. So I track organic traffic. So how many people are visiting my website through sources that are not paid for? Okay, so things just organic search results. So this is where SEO really kicks in. This is where getting your keywords built into your website and all your content really start working for you. That's what drives organic free traffic to your website. So tracking organic traffic is really straightforward in Google Analytics. Just go onto the traffic acquisition dashboard and look at organic traffic. That's where you'll see how well your organic efforts are working. You can set the graph to all different timeframes, see if your SEO if you're optimizing certain pages or certain blogs to drive traffic to your website, you can see by setting the kind of the time frame in all different settings, 28, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, that kind of stuff. What you want, of course, is to see your organic traffic increasing over time. Customer engagement is another really good metric, super helpful. It's a bit more tricky to use because you have to decide what you mean by customer engagement. So what are you going to look at? Once somebody's on your website, what are you interested in them doing? Do you want them to read some content? Do you want them to sign up for your newsletter? Do you want them to click on a form? Whatever it is you want, you can set up that event, that customer engagement event. So they might be really, really different from other people's. So you go and set up that event and then track it going forward. And as I say, your events might be really different from somebody else's. So they're not really comparable, but they're really, really helpful for your business. So you can do that, all of that in GA4. Again, remember, we're not talking about universal analytics, but there's all sorts of things you can do. So head over to the dashboard in Google Analytics GA4, set up some conversion events, and you can get your engagement metrics. Brilliant. Conversions, which are basically sales and leads. Of course, we all want conversions. Conversions are, the fruits of our labour. So what we want to do is we want to move people through our funnel, through the life cycle, which we can track in Google Analytics, and we want to be making sales. We want to be selling our services to people that really, really need it. So the great thing about this is that you might be getting lots of traffic, but if you're not converting that into sales, you can see that there's something in that funnel that means it's not converting. So you then you're empowered to go and look at your funnel and see where it's breaking down, so you can go and fix it. So how to track conversions. So go into Google Analytics in the engagement section, just look at the conversion section. You'll have defined your conversion, so that might be sales. Whatever it is that you want to whatever you consider a conversion on your website, and then head over to the monetization section and then track those conversions. It's really that simple. And you're going to find all sorts of sales data, like how many people looked at your products, how many people added them to their cart, what sales revenue you've got. So you can do that. As I say, tracking all of this is amazing. You just need to go and set up that conversion event that you want to track. It's really easy. Okay, guys, so there you go. That was a whistle-stop tour through how to read Google Analytics and understand what it's telling you. The blogs in the description, it just kind of takes you through a little bit more kind of step-by-step what to do. Yeah, so go and do it. Let me know how you get on. All right, see you later.